So, hello. This is another episode on the SRAD build. Last time we took out the shims and stuff that's lying here out of our cylinder head. We took out the engine earlier. And here I'm going to show you how to measure shims. Those are quite an important bit of the engine because those little things you can adjust the valve clearance of your engine. So normally those have their size or thickness better set printed or laser printed onto one side of the shim. The thing is, this print starts to wear quite fast, so right now you see there's like basically nothing left that tells us which size this or thickness this shim has. So we take our measuring device of choice, take our shim, put it in there. So how do we read this? Let's take it so you can see better. So we have our shim in there, and on this side we have this 0, yeah, down here. This is like the most basic thing. As you can see, it's past 1 millimeter and hasn't quite touched 2 millimeters. So we know it's 1 point something something, and this being like so close to the 2 millimeter mark, we can assume it's going to be like something like 1.7, 1.8, something like that. So the next step you take, if you see those markings down here, those are for your point reading. So you see, you just check them and try to find the marking that is as close to like one of those markings over here. So as you can see, the 6 isn't really quite touching the marking above it, so it's not 1.6. So you go to 1.7. Now it's getting closer, but not quite there. You see 1.8, spot on. And then we go more up, 1.9. It's too far. So we can be pretty sure that it's 1.8, but those come in really different sizes. There's 1.82, 1.85, so on. You have to be really careful. So next thing we can do, we have some shims here, because sometimes you have luck and you still can read which thickness the shim has. So right in here, oh, you can't read that one. Let's try to find one where you can actually see something. Yeah. Let's try to bring that into the camera. So right now here we have a shim, and you can barely see the 1 and the 0. So I measured this before and I was pretty sure this is 180, the other ones as well. So we still have our shim that we want to measure in here, and now we try to fit our shim that we know the size of into there as well, and this is sliding in really nice and tight. So the next thing we're gonna do is take one size up, which would be 185. We don't have 185, so we take like a different one, like the 178, which would be yeah, 200s smaller. So we fit this in, and it's going in there as well, but it has some play. And since we know the 180 was fitting better than the 178, we assume that this is a 180. So we take this out, put it in the 180 bin. Oh no. Mistakes were made. I got screwed by my own measuring system. So 180 would be here. This would be 180. Took the wrong shims to measure it. And actually on this one you can see it. You can barely see it. 180. Yes. So we still think that this is a 180. So try to, yeah. It's going nicely. Let's try another one. But you know, I actually think this has so much play. I think this is a 185. So 180, go there. So we actually have a 185 since I read this wrong. Try to fit the 185 in there. Still some play. Holy moly. So let's put this to the side for now. I think it could be a 190, but I don't know, who cares? We have to find one with the markings still intact to find that out for sure. So we take the next one. As you can see here, the markings still kind of intact. You can see it's 172. So 172 goes here. Take the next one. Again. Yeah, would you please focus? 180 something, or 160. 160 to 180, we can figure that out. So again, we push it in there. As you can see right now, let's bring you on this side so you can read it properly. The 6 is really spot on. So I bet it's a 1.6. But to make sure we take a 1.6, which should be in here. Try to snuggle it in there. Yes, really tight fit. See, you can barely wiggle it around. So we just assured this is a 160 as well. Put it in there. Next one. As you can see, there's still some kind of marking left. I think it's a 1 something 0. Calipers out. Yeah, this would be a 160 as well. As you can see, 6 is quite on there. 7 is too less. 5 is too much. Again, to make sure, yeah, it's 160. Yeah, this is like how it's done. I'm just gonna measure up the rest of them, put them in there, and then we're up to go for the next bit. Thanks for watching.